Hi, I'm Jordan Flegel, Managing Director of the Techstars Sports Accelerator powered by Indy. It's my great honor to welcome you to our 2021 Demo Day. Techstars is the global platform for investment and innovation. To date, we put on more than 200 accelerators just like this one, having invested in and supported more than 5,000 founders around the world. Our portfolio companies have a market cap of over $25 billion. All of which makes us, by volume at seed stage, the #1 investor in the world. Our program in particular, the Techstars Sports Accelerator, benefits tremendously from our local partners. So we have all of the leading sports properties in town supporting us, supporting our founders. Pacer Sports and Entertainment, NCAA, Indiana Sports Corp, Indianapolis Colts, IMS, and IndyCar have come together collectively, and this is totally unique. Doesn't exist anywhere else in the country. We have all the leading sports properties in one city come together to make this happen. And important to note, Indiana is one of the great, if not the greatest sports states in the entire country. Indiana's home of basketball, it's the home of racing, it's the home of sports tourism. And so this DNA in sports enables us to be successful, and you'll hear about that more today. In addition to our sports properties, we benefit from the state of Indiana itself, through Governor Holcomb's office. The Next Level Fund, which is the fund of fund for the state of Indiana, puts up tremendous capital into our program every year and provides great resources and support to our companies, who also benefit from all the talent that comes out of local universities. So Notre Dame, Purdue, Indiana University, Butler, IUPUI, and so many more. Talents coming out of universities in business, in computer science, and other fields. It's very affordable to live here, and the state and all of the leading companies in town really support up-and-coming companies, up-and-coming founders, and our program is no exception to that. We've been tremendously successful in just the 2 short years that we've done this. We launched in 2019, so we've backed 20 companies before this class, and just to name a few, our companies have raised a lot of capital, have grown, and probably the best example of that is Ergata. Just in terms of funding, has raised $30 million at a $200 million valuation just 18 months after coming out of our accelerator. So I'll repeat that because companies coming in to Techstars are at a $3 to $5 million valuation. Had some of our companies that have come out, raised additional capital at as high of a $200 million valuation less than 2 years after our program. So for all the investors listening to the pitches today, keep in mind our companies grow fast. We've done it before, and I think you'll see a number of the companies in this year's class do the same thing. In addition to Ergata, it's just one of our many great portfolio companies. We played, some of these rounds are still confidential. It's raised a new round of funding. Beast Coast announced they raised $2.5 million seed funding out of the accelerator. Tenny bought as well with a VC lead and a seed round closed. Project Emission, which is soon to announce some really exciting news around their Series A. And these are just some of our companies that have gone out to raise from venture capital funds. We've also been extremely proud of our companies that have chosen to bootstrap, that have raised maybe only $500K or $1 million and have gotten to over 7-figure run rate. Companies like Pistol Lake, Zone In, Rebus, Fitnessity, Play Easy. These are companies that are growing and profitable. We've just named 10 of our 20 portfolio companies from 2019 and 2020 class. Encourage you to get in touch with us if you're interested in talking to them. And there's so many more companies in those classes that are doing really well. So please remember, this is just one class you're going to hear from today. The Techstars Sports Accelerator is a family, and we really support all of our companies from previous years. And the previous founders do an incredible job of paying it forward and supporting the founders in this class. And we expect that to continue as we grow. So a little bit more about this class. I mean, we truly look around the world to bring the best sports-related startups to Indy. Again, benefiting from the state support, from our partner support, from our founders, our alumni who've gone through the program before and have had so much success. We've had companies from around the world, from Israel, from Germany, from Colombia in prior classes. This year we have 4 companies from the UK and Ireland, 4 companies out of the 11 from the UK and Ireland. So we're really going everywhere to find talent. We have a company in this year's class you'll hear from New Hampshire. So if you're out there and you're doing something really interesting in sports and early stage, we're going to come and try to find you and bring you here. And we know that we can help you. Goes without saying, but just if anyone's new to Techstars, it's a mentorship-driven accelerator. So we have over 200 mentors who volunteer their time to meet with our portfolio companies, to share their stories through founder talks. These are private, confidential talks where they share the wins and the losses and go into tremendous detail about things that they wish they had known when starting out. And so that makes our founders much more resilient and much more prepared as they grow their companies. Too many mentors to name have given their founder talks, but just a few. We had Nigel, who's the founder of FanDuel, a company I'm sure most of you have heard of. Will Ahmed is the founder and CEO of Whoop. It's now valued over $1 billion. Khalil from Fight Camp, they've raised $90 million. Our very own Tom from Arigata, of course, recently raised $30 million Series A. Zach from Overtime, I could go on and on. Thank you to our mentors for sharing your wisdom, for spending your time, volunteering your precious time with our companies. You are what makes this program go. Want to thank our interns and associates. So we have at the Accelerator, in addition to my partner Andrew and I, who I'll mention Andrew in just a bit, we have an engineer in residence, Arian Radman, who's my co-founder and CTO at CoachUp, who works with all of our CTOs throughout the program. I want to thank Arian for that. He does really a great job with our CTOs in developing the technical talent in our companies. Megan O'Neill is our operations associate. Megan spent the summer with me and Andrew in our office. It was great support to us, and there's nothing that Megan was unwilling to do. Thank you so much, Megan. I want to thank Julian, our design associate, worked with all the companies to make their materials look fantastic. You'll see some great presentations today. Thank you, Julian, again, for all of your help. I want to thank our entrepreneurs in residence, Carrie Perry and Miles Grody, local here in Indy. Spend a lot of time with our companies, and we're very fortunate for their support and involvement. And we also have an executive leadership coach, Mike Posner. So we do a retreat before the accelerator starts. Mike leads that retreat and really helps the founders to come together as a group and to grow personally. So thank you to Mike. We have 16 interns with us this summer. So these are all students from many from the local universities here in Indiana, the undergraduate level or graduate level, who spent their summers working really closely with the CEOs of our companies. And this is something unique that we do. Our time works out well. We're running a summer accelerator, and so it matches up well with students who have their summer breaks. And we expect a lot of these interns who spent their summer with us to go on to be founders, to start their own companies, to take exciting job opportunities at our own portfolio companies or at others within the Techstars network. We've seen that happen over the past 2 years. So we're really excited to watch what all of you go on and do. Thank you so much for spending the summer with us, and be sure to be in touch. Mentioned it before, but thanks again to my great friend, our senior program manager, Andrew Hippert. It's a true partnership between Andrew and I. Without Andrew, I couldn't do what I do. I'm able to spend a lot of my time going out and recruiting and finding companies and then supporting them throughout the program and afterwards, while Andrew handles everything else, literally everything else, from our associate and internship program, our office, this demo day itself, and so much more. Thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate it. Thank you to our global partners for your support and also for the time that you spend with our founders. These partners not only provide discounts to their services, many of them need no introduction, but also spend a lot of time helping our portfolio companies, our founders, on things that are even beyond the scope of what you think they need to do or should do for their companies as partners. They're willing to do everything and anything for our founders, and it really helps make our program go. So again, I mentioned it before, but wanted to double click on this. Thank you so much to our partners, obviously without whom we couldn't do this program, not just because we wouldn't have the capital to do it, but it's your involvement, it's your brands, it's your willingness to get involved that enables us to provide so much strategic value to our founders and help us recruit the very best founders in the world. So thanks again to Next Level Fund and 50 South Capital, Pacer Sports and Entertainment, NCAA, Indiana Sports Corp, IMS and IndyCar, and of course the Indianapolis Colts. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You're now going to hear from some of our partners.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaron Gillum with 50 South Capital, which serves as the program administrator for the Indiana Next Level Fund, a $251 million investment program launched in 2018. The goal of our program is to build a diversified portfolio of venture capital firms across vintages, sectors, and strategies, with a demonstrated track record and a commitment to Indiana investments. To that end, we are proud to be the lead partner for Techstars Sports powered by Indy. Since launching the Accelerator, we have seen 20 early stage companies graduate from the program, network with our corporate partners, and leverage the deep sector sports expertise in Indianapolis to make the Accelerator a success. Furthermore, Indiana's broader tech ecosystem continues to balloon and generate more venture investment from VCs in the region as well as both coasts. Through the second quarter of this year, we have seen more venture investment than last year, which was also a record year for the state. To that end, I welcome you to spend some time to get to know this next batch of companies at the demo day, as well as to get to know our sports partners, mentors, and investors that are driving strong performance for the state of Indiana and beyond. Thank you and enjoy Demo Day.
Hey everyone, welcome to 2021 Techstars Sports Accelerator Demo Day. Woo! We're really excited at Pacer Sports and Entertainment. Obviously, we wish we could be in person. I hope next year we can. Some of you will be there, but we're really excited. This partnership has grown. This is our third class of cohorts. I think it's even more synergistic this year to what we're doing at Pacer Sports and Entertainment across our brands and our businesses. We've had some great relationships with the prior companies like Beast Coast, like Project Admission, like Zone In, we have a current partnership with as well. And, I think we're just getting started. We've extended this partnership, for the coming years. It's vitally important to us to augment our internal talent, investment, and strategy in innovating around, our businesses and connecting with our fans, and building connections, right? That's what we're really about. And I think it's really important for the city as well and the state. We take the best of our, pedigree in pro and amateur sports and meld it together with the great innovation, entrepreneurship, and tech and SaaS investing companies that we're building here, thanks to a lot of great entrepreneurs and investors that are in this market, and it's growing. I think it's going to continue to define, another piece of what makes Indianapolis, vital and exciting. So I'm looking forward to the demos, and we'll see you next year in person, I hope. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Judd Williams, the Chief Information Officer at the NCAA. Welcome to the third demo day of the Techstars Sports Tech Accelerator powered by Indy. The NCAA has been a proud partner of this initiative. This has been a tremendous opportunity for us as an organization to look at how we can provide value back to our student athletes and our membership. Jordan and Andrew have done an exceptional job of continuing to identify strong and innovative companies to bring into this program. And this year's class is easily the strongest class that we've had so far. And each year it continues to get better and better. It's been an amazing summer working with a lot of these companies. I hope everyone enjoys their day today, that you enjoyed the presentations, and I'm already looking forward to next year. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, my name is Ryan Vaughn. I'm the president of Indiana Sports Corp. Our mission here at Indiana Sports Corp is to advance and inspire our community through sports. We do that in a variety of different ways. Primarily, we go out and we compete against other cities for the right to host major sporting events. If we're lucky enough and successful enough in that endeavor, we then turn around and serve as the host institution for those major events. So think to yourself, NCAA Final Fours, college football playoff championships, Super Bowls, Olympic trials, all events of that kind of scope and scale. One of the great things that we've been able to do the last couple of years is be a partner in the Techstars Sports Accelerator. One of the reasons we wanted to do that is to help grow our sports business ecosystem here in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is already as a rich environment for sports-related businesses. Not only do we have many professional teams, but we also have a number of services that serve those professional teams in major events. And Techstars has been an outstanding partner in that in the last 2 years in particular. Very excited about this year's class. It's certainly been a little bit more challenging having to deal with COVID, but very proud of all of the founders, all the work they've done remotely and here in Indianapolis. And we're very excited to see you all launch on Demo Day and continue to assist you in your endeavors. So congratulations and good luck.
Hello, my name is Carly Ursay Gordon, one of the vice chairs and owners of the Indianapolis Colts. At the Colts, we take pride in being a leader in sports technology. Whether it's finding new advances in player health and safety or better connecting with our fans, we're always seeking innovative new ways to entertain, inspire, and unite. When I think about the intersection of sports and technology and the importance of sports in our community, I'm incredibly encouraged by the entrepreneurs in the Techstars program. It's creative thinkers like you who will help answer some of today's most pressing questions, including how we can use our great platforms to engage and unite. It has been a privilege to partner with Techstars, and we've been impressed with the way it's been managed, the companies selected, and the progress the companies have made. I want to congratulate Jordan, Andrew, their team, and most of all, the Techstars entrepreneurs on a job well done. We have enjoyed spending time with each of the companies in this year's cohort, and we look forward to continuing to support them in the months and years to come. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of Demo Day.
Hey Techstars, Demo Day, Doug Bowles here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, just a little bit west of downtown Indianapolis. You know, we've had an opportunity here at the Speedway where we host the world's largest single-day sporting event, the Indianapolis 500, to be involved with Techstars since they came to Indianapolis, Indiana. Have had an opportunity to engage with a lot of the organizations, mentor some of those organizations, and give you an opportunity to come out and check the sporting event here. I can't express how excited we are that Techstars is continuing to be here in Indianapolis, and we continue to get an opportunity to invest in some of these great companies and great ideas that each of you have. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway was built in 1909 to test the new technology of the day, which was the automobile. And 112 years later, we continue to try and do the exact same thing. In fact, right now, we're really focused on sustainability, connecting with our customers, finding ways for our athletes, our race car drivers, to really connect with their fans and make things feel much more connected. You know, we just had an opportunity to focus on sustainability, not just in the environmental way, but across the board through diversity, inclusivity, sustainability as it relates to the environment as well. And we're just the first and the largest organization ever to be accredited by the Council for Responsible Sport. And a lot of that is due to connecting with organizations who are using technology to help us become more sustainable. So we love what you guys are doing. We hope we get an opportunity to bring you out here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and together find ways to continue to work and make the world better for our fans, for our athletes, and for those that don't even know about our sport or your products yet, to get them engaged through the Techstars relationship. Have a great year. We look forward to seeing you all and working alongside you.
Hi, I'm Roy, co-founder and CEO of PlayerData. I'm going to tell you a story about how a techie became a master archer. I had a traditional Asian upbringing that meant no sports and lots of code. I built a drone when I was 16 because my friends said I couldn't do it. At 17, I built an electric scooter that could fit in my backpack so I can get to town. My passion for engineering led me to study CS and electronics at the University of Edinburgh. And it was at Edinburgh where I fell in love with my first sport, archery. But with nobody to coach me, I set out to build my own coach by reading biomedical papers and tinkering with sensors at night. After only 18 months, I went from being a beginner to competing internationally for Scotland and then my home country, Thailand, where I was on track to represent them at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. A month before the event, I was a passenger in a car accident where I would have been fine, but my luck saw a can of Coke came out of the back seat and hit me in the back of the head, leaving me concussed and ending my Olympic journey. Turns out, this is one of the best things that's happened to me, because while my dream was dashed, I was able to focus on deploying the tech I developed on a complete beginner, who with the aid of my system went from novice to competing internationally in 6 months. This was my aha moment. What if we took the fundamentals of the tech I had developed and deployed it to more commercially viable sports? I convinced my genius software engineer friend Hayden to quit his job and PlayerData was born. PlayerData's first product is a modular sensor system that allows athletes to capture the data they need to improve. The product allows coaches to manage training loads to reduce injury and conduct tactical analysis using our positioning playback tools. We wanted to bring this cutting-edge technology to the long tail of sports. Youth and high school teams, coaching academies, your Sunday rec league, Kickabout. We saw a massive opportunity to help grassroots sports level up their game and an untapped data opportunity to use this data to chart pass up to the elite. In order to attack this long tail in sports, we had to solve two really big challenges: affordability and accessibility. To make our products truly affordable, we went with a subscription-only model, $20 a unit a month, with no upfront cost. Clubs could not only afford this for the first time, but they can buy at any time in their season. This is huge. Next is the data accessibility problem. You can take a top-end product from a competitor's StatSports and Catapult, and you can give it to coaches at this level, but they'll have no idea what to do with the data. By bringing Scotland's best UI designers and AI engineers, we have built a beautiful mobile-first app where coaches can interact with the data intuitively. Not only that, coaches are blown away by incredible support. We have data scientists on call from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day, including the weekends. It turns out, when you solve these problems the way we did, people want to buy your product. We launched in Scotland a year ago during lockdown by selling pre-orders. Since then, we've sold to over 70 teams across the UK, and we've been fueled by a strong viral effect that at one point had our LTV to CAC ratio at 50-1. This is because of how competitive teams are at this level. And in fact, it's no coincidence that on Sunday, we get inquiries from the coaches that lost to PlayerData-equipped teams. We raised $2.5 million to accelerate our momentum and tripled our headcount to 30 within the last year. We're now pushing our product into the rest of the UK and expecting to more than 10x by closing 1,000 teams next year. And with a global addressable market within soccer at over 300,000 teams worldwide, and even more in adjacent verticals, we're here with Techstars Sports to bring our award-winning product to the US. We always have one eye on the future at PlayerData and are constantly innovating. Over the next few years, we'll launch Garmin-embedded sensors, individual-focused products, and AR fan experiences powered by our technology. PlayerData is here to bring data to the long tail in sports, and I'm confident in the future impact PlayerData will have on the millions of athletes around the world. If a geek like me can become a master archer, and if a coach can derail an Olympic dream, then surely our insanely great team of computer scientists, engineers, and passionate sports people can change the sports world for the better.
All right, just a few quick words. I want to remind everyone, if you go to demoday.techstars.com, you'll be able to reach out to Roy and to all of our CEOs who you'll hear from today directly through the Bridge app and be able to shoot them a note. Of course, if it's easier for you just to reach out to Andrew or I, we're happy to facilitate intros directly. But again, demoday.techstars.com, and you'll be able to connect with all the CEOs there. Just a few quick words about Roy and the opportunity at PlayerData that I just wanted to double click on. I think this company has so much potential and has already seen a ton of success, and really stems in large part due to Roy. His background as a computer scientist and electrical engineer, his ability to rally an incredibly technically strong product and dev team around him, including, of course, Hayden, is very impressive. They've bootstrapped this company. They've done so much with so little. To be able to have their sensor and related software at the point where it's at now, where they're able to go downstream and hitting the youth and high school market in soccer at a price point that their competitors, Catapult and Stats, just simply can't match. And I think really impressive is how the unit economics has sort of really underscored the opportunity for them. Whenever they sell to one team in a particular league, all the other teams in that league need to get on PlayerData in order to compete. So they don't have to sell to every single team. They just need to penetrate a league. And then from there, PlayerData really spreads. This has enabled them to have incredible virality. And they've now are approaching over 200 teams that they're going to sell to by the end of this year. And that will translate into approximately 2 million ARR again by the end of the year, going into Q1 of next year. So this is a team now 30 full-time employees out of Edinburgh and Scotland that's been extremely capital efficient, that has grown dramatically, is doing significant revenue, and they're still just in the UK, just in soccer. So the sky's the limit for this team. We're super excited about where they're at. And again, go to demoday.techstars.com to reach out to Roy. And next up, we have Kayleen and Flexia.
Hi, I'm Kayleen, founder and CEO of Flexia. We are reinventing Pilates with the world's first smart reformer and interactive online studio. I'm a mechanical engineer and a Pilates instructor. I grew up playing competitive soccer and tore my ACL in high school twice. For 10 years, I suffered from debilitating knee pain that meant I couldn't live my life the way I wanted. It wasn't until I started doing Pilates that I found any relief for my pain. If this is what you picture when you think of Pilates, you aren't alone. In reality, though, Pilates is a scalable training method that builds strength and flexibility with minimal impact on your joints. The reformer is essential to getting the most out of your practice by providing support when you need it and a challenge when you're ready. Throughout my career as an instructor, I've taught everyone. From the 55-year-old union worker who wanted to return to the soccer field after hip surgery, to the 30-year-old mom who wanted to run a faster marathon. In fact, we gave our Techstars program manager a session this summer, and his words say it all. Speaking of dunks, elite athletes all over the world use Pilates. I bet you recognize some of these people, right? Knowing that, why don't more of us take up this method? For one, there are the typical in-person fitness problems. It's expensive, there's a commute, and you have to plan in advance to snag a spot with your favorite instructor. In Pilates, though, the studio environment can be particularly elitist and intimidating. Doing Pilates on a reformer at home makes sense when you consider these factors. This was at the top of my mind as I turned my expertise into 2 niche offerings within the industry. For 5 years, I split my time teaching in a studio and traveling all over as one of only 3 independent technicians in the country, going into studios to work on Pilates equipment. In both jobs, people asked me over and over again, how can I do Pilates on a reformer at home? Every solution I patched together failed. For one, these machines look torturous. They're expensive, and how do you know what to do without an instructor? Peloton perfected the at-home spin experience. Fight Camp raised $90 million to bring boxing to the home. And with rowing, Techstars Sports' very own Ergata raised at a $200 million valuation just a year and a half after finishing the program. But no one is doing Pilates. So I started Flexia. The Flexia experience consists of 4 key elements based on the specific goals you set. First, we assess your movement using key metrics related to your goal. Then, our algorithms recommend classes and instructors to reach it. During class, our technology gives you real-time feedback on the quality of your movement and tells you how much resistance to use and how many reps to do. All along the way, Flexia tracks your progress and connects you with our community to keep you motivated and inspired. When I started Flexia, I knew we had 3 main challenges. We needed to create the best reformer the world has ever seen, we had to create new technology that quantifies movement, and we needed to deliver world-class, engaging content. To that end, I recruited a team with those challenges in mind. First, there's me, the mechanical engineer and Pilates instructor who designed our machine. Second, David, our CTO. David is an experienced developer who's led an educational software startup to an exit. And third, CJ, our chief customer officer. CJ is a Pilates instructor and startup strategist obsessed with customer experience. We know there is demand. For context, Club Pilates, an in-person franchise, propelled themselves to number 69 on the Franchise 500 list. In 2020, Pilates was Peloton's most requested off-bike modality. To prove it ourselves, we ran a deposit sale that we quickly had to stop. It generated $140K in pre-sales in just 19 days, all on $500 in non-optimized spend. Not bad considering we sell a reformer for $3,000 and expect a 50% hardware margin. That gives us incredible cash flow and acquisition budget, all before our $39 per month subscription kicks in. We are the first mover at the intersection of Pilates and connected fitness. We have the right team, we have the roadmap. Join us and move forward.
There is no founder better suited to this business than Kayleen. Her background as a mechanical engineer, specifically focused on reformers, and as of course a Pilates instructor, is incredibly unique. The team that she's rallied around her with David in technology and CJ on the customer side complement each other and work together really well. So we're super excited about this team going after this particular market. And they made tremendous progress on the hardware itself, on the reformer. Where they're at right now, they've already demonstrated 6 figures in pre-sales and demand there, and basically no advertising spend. They've come a long way on the software side and also on the studio side. And so this is a product that's really ready for prime time and a market that we're super excited about. Obviously, I think most of you are aware of Ergata, just sort of like Flexia, but for rowing. It's extremely welcome. We have our program recently raised $30 million round on a $200 million valuation. I'm also involved as an early advisor and investor in Fight Camp, which is sort of like Flexia, but for boxing. Recently raised $90 million. It's on a tear. So when I came across this opportunity, I met Kayleen doing a very similar business to Ergata or Fight Camp, but for Pilates. With her background, I knew this was an incredible opportunity, and watching her execute has been really, really amazing. She's super impressive. This team is firing all cylinders. So I'm thrilled for the opportunity ahead for Flexia. And next up, we have Ryan and LegitFit.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm co-founder and CEO of LegitFit. At LegitFit, our mission is to empower fitness entrepreneurs to deliver a better experience to their clients and fundamentally change the way in which the industry connects with each other. But before we get into how we're actually achieving this, let's take a step back. Gearóid, Ian, and I grew up together as kids in the small but very proud metropolis of Cork. Now, this is not us as kids, but it just works with the story that I'm telling. Ian and I connected over playing soccer, whereas Gearóid and I met in elementary school. He wasn't the sportiest and was probably stuck in his room nerding out over Apple and stuff like that. All of our families, however, worked for themselves. And because of this, we clicked pretty fast and had a huge appreciation for entrepreneurship and small businesses. Years later, and although entrepreneurship was in my blood, I had a great passion for science and excelled academically on the path to becoming a scientist. But whilst at university, I found an even bigger passion in bodybuilding. Working out in itself is a science, and as time went on, I found myself spending more time on my abs and less time in the labs. During this time of being totally obsessed with fitness, I decided to try out a spin class, and lo and behold, my buddy Ian was teaching it, and we got to talking. Through Ian, I learned that running a fitness business is super hard. It's the daily back and forth with clients, even on the weekends. It's trying to schedule the week ahead. It's jumping from WhatsApp to email to online banking. It's inefficient, it's time consuming, and we've since learned that it was costing Ian over $10,000 per year. Now, I thought this was absolutely crazy, so we started brainstorming a solution. We had the consumer perspective from me and Ian's perspective as a fitness entrepreneur, but we needed someone to build it. Now, luckily enough, we still knew a world-class coder who was only 5 minutes up the road, and who was probably still in his room at this stage. So I lured Gearóid into going to the gym and pitched him the idea after in the sauna, where he had little room to escape. That evening, we literally got to work on broccoli. That's right, we thought about calling it broccoli before LegitFit. The first thing we did as a trio was to run out and to talk to as many people as possible in the industry. And we found there's a lot more Ians out there. In fact, we called into every Ian in Ireland and found the same problematic themes across the industry. But this is just one country, and a small one at that. There's actually millions of fitness businesses across the world, and even more Ians out there. It was crazy to discover that half the businesses that we spoke to were still using pen and paper to run their business. And this is in 2019. The other half were using legacy solutions, and they weren't helping either, as they were completely overkill, putting unnecessary financial pressure on small businesses, and lacked what we deemed as being true customer support. So that's why in mid-2019, we launched LegitFit, an affordable, lightweight solution that focuses on what today's businesses actually need. It's bookings, payments, and communication done right with incredible support. With LegitFit, businesses can significantly reduce their admin time and cancellations, and also automate a lot of their workflows so they can provide a better service to their clients. When we do the heavy lifting, our customers are able to drive higher retention rates and even expand into more locations. So coming back to today, where are we now? Well, our customers love us. We have an NPS of 85, which is considered world class. We're raved about on social media, and in Ireland, our beta market, we've taken over 20% of the industry in just 2 years. And we're committed to expanding into North America, and nothing will stop us from doing so. Not even COVID, which required us to fly from Cork to Dublin to Lisbon to Mexico for a mandatory 2-week quarantine, to Denver, then to Indianapolis to participate in Techstars sports. It's this relentless approach that has enabled us to grow so fast over the course of the program. We're now in 12 countries. Our user base has grown by 30%. Our GMV has tripled in the last 3 months, and we're now on track to do $1 million in annual recurring revenue by the end of the year. So what's next for LegitFit? Well, as we continue to rapidly take market share from clunky competitors like MindBody, we've come to the belief that consumers are moving away from big member gyms to the boutique sector and independent instructors. But the software that powers these new popular fitness offerings hasn't caught up with the times. We envision a future where decentralized fitness becomes highly collaborative with LegitFit at its core, enabling consumers to easily navigate the best fitness experiences around them. Somewhere you can book spinning with Ian in the morning and yoga with Garrod in the evening. Not that you'd want that. On the other side of the market, you have the gym, the trainer, the boutique, all being powered by LegitFit, all able to symbiotically work and grow together. It's this vision, combined with our relentless, passionate team, that has enabled us to already take 50% of the customer base in Ireland from $1 billion company. And we're just getting started. So if you're interested in the future of the fitness space, impressed by our incredible traction, or just have questions about how much sunscreen is consumed by 3 Irish guys stuck in Cancun for 2 weeks, please reach out.
Fit. Love this team. Ryan, being a bodybuilder, Garrod, obviously on the technical side, Ian as a fitness instructor. So they bring a wealth of experience and different perspectives that are very complementary. They work extremely well together. They're close friends. And you can see that in the progress that they've made. Taking 20% of the Irish market from MindBody and GlowFox and other competitors there is super impressive. They've bootstrapped this business. Extremely hardworking, resilient team, somehow managed to get from Cork to get here in the middle of COVID to Indy. And so it's been great having them. Customer love that they received, the NPS scores that are off the charts. And of course, that translates into impressive revenue and revenue growth, approaching $1 million in ARR by the end of the year. So it's another team that demonstrated product market fit, growing super quickly, meaningful inflection point in terms of revenue and clients, and they're just getting started. So really excited for where they are. And next up, we have Luke and Power Forward.
Hi, I'm Luke Bonner, the founder of Power Forward, the athlete-to-consumer marketplace. I grew up in Concord, New Hampshire, shooting hoops in this very gym, which is now part of the Power Forward HQ. I went on to play Division I in professional basketball before transitioning into a career in sports marketing, broadcasting, and athlete advocacy. My older brother and sister, Matt and Becky, also played D1 in pro ball. Let's talk about Matt for a second. He had an 11-year NBA career, but he wasn't exactly swimming in endorsements. Then one night in 2013, the late great Kobe Bryant referred to Matt as the Red Mamba in a random tweet. I saw an opportunity in this. I set up a royalty arrangement with a local t-shirt company to put out an undeniably hideous Red Mamba shirt. My brother, a very average NBA player, I can say that, sorry Matt, went on to earn over $50K for his foundation. He made something of that moment, but in the scheme of his career, the moment seems so tiny. Imagine if he could have been building a movement throughout his entire basketball journey. Let's face it, I love my brother, I'm his biggest fan, but there are hundreds of thousands of him every single year, not just in the NBA, but in every league. And with the recent name, image, and likeness rule changes, there are now 450,000 college athletes able to monetize their influence for the first time ever. Just think about all the connections and communities these athletes build. The problem is 99% of them have no mechanism to engage with their true fans in a meaningful way. When we started Power Forward, over 90% of NBA players didn't even have personal sites. About 97% of them weren't even set up to sell things. And it's been over a decade since a women's basketball player had a signature shoe, leaving fans empty-handed. When a plane takes off with an empty seat, the airline can never again monetize that seat on that flight. Kayak started a multi-billion-dollar business to help airlines solve this problem. Athletes face the same issue when their career takes off without being able to offer fans a seat on their own proverbial plane. Sure, athletes can monetize their downtime by making a few videos on Cameo or showing up to a car dealership, but these are one-time transactions. There's no potential for repeat purchase, no recurring revenue, and worst of all, they require the athlete to do something. Artists have Etsy, bloggers have Substack, even Instagram models have OnlyFans. Enter Power Forward. For athletes, by athletes. Shop, buy direct from athletes. Subscribe, support, and engage athletes on an ongoing basis. And sponsor, brands, activate with athletes. We founded our company in March of 2020 and knew we needed three things to get the business going. First, we needed direct-to-consumer expertise. This is my co-founder, Alan Finn's world. He has a decade of experience across e-com and digital marketing. We also needed top-tier creative, so we brought on a celebrated artist in Xavier Walker. Finally, we needed a thorough understanding of the sports industry. This is my background, but we also looped in 4 athletes who are revered by their peers: Brianna Stewart, Mo Bamba, Taco Fall, and Sue Bird. We're also committed to 3 simple values, and these are important. We believe fans deserve to celebrate their heroes without relying on gatekeepers. Athletes are entitled to authentic self-expression, and movements are greater than moments. Community is everything. Let me show you Power Forward. Today, we're a marketplace where athletes host their official personal shops, each uniquely theirs while also being part of the bigger community, a model we could even replicate in other verticals. Think music, comedy, podcasts, and more. We raised $1 million pre-seed round from strategic investors, including pro athletes, executives at Google and Facebook, and most importantly, Techstars. We have 75 athletes across all the major pro sports leagues, men's and women's, and college using the platform today. And we're generating revenue. We cleared 6 figures in sales last year, and we're on pace to more than 7x that this year. Now, it's hard to remember today, but eBay started with Pez dispensers, Uber started with a black car service, and Amazon started with books. We're starting with merch. Why? Well, it enables us to build athlete shops, develop their brands, and establish authentic relationships with their fans. But merch is far from where we'll end up. You see, Power Forward is turning the connections between athletes and fans into lasting communities. We're expanding the definition of athlete shop to new realms, including experiences, auctions, even custom tickets to games. Fans are also able to directly support athletes as boosters. And brands can engage with athletes in a more meaningful way directly through our platform and through the athletes' shops, all done with a uniform card experience for the end customer. Athletes are more than the sport they play. Every athlete has value. Are we enabling them to monetize their influence? Absolutely. But the secret to the whole thing is we're empowering fans to be able to celebrate, engage with, and support their heroes in ways that have never been possible until now. I invite you all to join our movement. Thank you.
All right, that was the greatest shot in Techstars Demo Day history. A few quick words about Luke and Power Forward. Incredible founder, market fit. You'll hear me say that a number of times today, but it's really something that we emphasize when looking for these companies. Luke and his family, the Bonner family, this is basketball royalty, the #1 basketball family ever out of the state of New Hampshire. Luke, an incredible player in his own right. Obviously, his brother, Matt, longtime NBA player, sister, Becky, incredibly involved in the league and a tremendous player in her own right. So their relationships of the family is something that's super unique and not replicable. And I think great, data point on that is having people like Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird involved, 2 of arguably the best female basketball players and WNBA players in the history of the game. So this is really not a business that's easy to build. It's heavily reliant on relationships and credibility in the space. Luke's incredibly authentic about his motives for this business and wanting to help athletes not only to monetize, but help their fans be able to celebrate their favorite players in the moments that matter most. In partnership with Luke, his co-founder, Alan, brings in great experience on the e-commerce and operational side, really balances Luke out very well. This is a team that has bootstrapped the business, recently closed $1 million in pre-seed funding, some great strategic angels. They're approaching 100 athletes now on the platform. They demonstrated product market fit, did 100K in revenue in 2020 last year. growing very well, on pace to more than 7x the business this year in 2021. So again, similar to LegitFit and PlayerData, a business with traction, going on 7 figures in revenue very, very soon here, and the right team to do it. And have done this all very impressively to date without much funding. And so we're really excited once these guys get a seed round behind them, to see what they'll be able to do going forward. And next up, we have Grind.
Hi, I'm Thomas Fields, self-taught mechanical engineer, former elite basketball player, and founder and CEO of Grind. Grind helps basketball players be great. Think of us as Peloton or Fight Camp for basketball. We've created the world's first interactive shooting machine and game-related mobile app that together bring our unique training experience to life. Now, I started playing basketball at 7 years old, and I knew, just like millions of other kids, I knew I was going to the NBA. But unlike most, I actually had a shot. I made varsity freshman year, became nationally ranked, and competed against over 10 NBA players who would all say I was pretty good. But then my life came to a halt. I tore my ACL, and everything I worked for was gone. All my comeback attempts ended up in the hospital, and before graduating, I had 4 knee surgeries. But I refused to give up on my dream. I knew I had to reinvent myself as a knockdown shooter. So I was thrilled when my school had bought this shooting machine. It was nearly $10,000, and it was a huge investment. And for those who aren't basketball players or hoopers, a shooting machine is a complex mechanical system that sits underneath the goal, gets your rebounds, and automatically passes the ball back out to you, enabling 10 times more shots versus you shooting alone. And this is critical because to be a great shooter, you have to get up at least 500 shots per day. You might be able to get up 100 shots an hour, but with the shooting machine, you can get up to 1,000 shots per hour. It's a game changer. But my school's machine didn't help me at all. After practice, there was always 5 to 10 players trying to use it at once. And when I had time to use it myself, the gym was always closed. I needed my own. But players don't buy these because parents can't afford them, and they weigh 400 pounds. And it turns out all the non-shooting machine options suck too. Sure, you can ask your friends or family to get your rebounds, but they usually give up after the first 100 shots. Private coaches are super expensive, and getting those rebounds yourself kills your focus and your motivation. And by the way, none of this is fun, and the experience is absolutely terrible. So we created Grind, the first portable shooting machine that folds into a duffel bag and uses software to bring personal training and gaming to life. Our software uses your own analytics after a workout to understand where you've specifically made and missed on the court. And we recommend workouts specific to your needs, just like a personal trainer would. Challenge friends, tracked all through a leaderboard, and climb your way through a never-ending career mode that'll have you itching for more, all from the comfort of your driveway, park, or gym. Say goodbye to boring workouts with no one to push you. Never have to worry about a coach giving you access to a gym, your parents trying to save $6,000 for a machine. Grind gives you the ability to practice like a pro from anywhere. And according to the US Census, we're going to help a lot of people. Basketball is the #1 sport in the United States by participation, with over 30 million people playing across the United States. And 6 million of these basketball players spend over $500 a month on sports equipment, travel teams, and personal training. Not only that, but this is a real issue. After speaking to hundreds of basketball players, 95% of them say that rebounding is the #1 problem that they have when practicing alone. Now, with Peloton launching a new in-app game for their bike, and Techstars' very own Ergata raising $35 million, gamifying the rowing machine experience, Grind is doing exactly this with basketball. As the connected fitness equipment market grows, it'll be worth over $5.9 billion by 2025. And we're in the perfect position to take advantage of it. We have an amazing team of athletes, designers, and hardware and software engineers executing for hyper growth with experience from companies like Quip, and one in the San Antonio Spurs. Our progress says it all. We've excited to be moving forward with the NBA Launchpad, and we're piloting a partnership this fall with the largest basketball tournament organizer in the United States, giving us access to over 900 basketball tournaments each year, where thousands of players and parents attend every weekend. We've shipped 100% of our pre-orders, and as we move into on-demand delivery for this December, I'm proud to say that we have just crossed $1 million in revenue over the course of 16 months with our version 1 hardware. We plan to launch version 2 with our software this upcoming Q1. Now, Grind is democratizing access to players. We bring gaming to life through sports equipment designed to change the player's life. Now, if you want to help us make players great or have any questions, please reach out or visit our website. Thanks.
All right, this is a fun one. I think many of you know Andrew and I are former basketball players. You may have seen Grind on Shark Tank, so this one really hit home for us. Again, founder, Market Fit. Thomas, obviously being a former elite basketball player. His co-founder, Brian, also a former college player and experience working in the NBA with the San Antonio Spurs. In addition to all the devs involved in this business on the tech side, so it's a true marriage of basketball DNA on the founding team, in addition to tech chops on both the hardware and software side. So unique team to go after this particular opportunity. For those of you who aren't familiar with shooting machines in the basketball market, the fact that Grind is portable, lightweight, and affordable is a total game changer. It enables individual families, parents, and basketball players to be able to afford Grind, whereas they really can't with Dr. Dish and The Gun, the primary competitors in the space. So that's just on the hardware side, and demonstrated product market fit there with over $1 million in sales on just V1 of the product. Obviously, now we got version 2 coming out, really excited for, and soon to roll out. And following that is the software component, the mobile apps, which enables Grind to get into a monthly subscription, super powerful from both the unit economic standpoint and also the value prop with athletes to be able to track your makes and misses, be able to do workouts with your favorite players and trainers, brings the whole basketball training experience to a whole new realm. Never before any sort of value prop like this has existed. So we're really excited about what this team is doing, the progress that they've made. In addition, they've secured a really exciting strategic partnership with 3Step, which is the nation's largest AAU amateur basketball tournament provider with over 1,000 tournaments every year. So they're going to be able to not just reach customers digitally, but also through this really unique in-person strategic channel. So really excited about what Grind's up to. And next up, we have TJ and Own the Moment.
I'm TJ, the co-founder and CEO of Own the Moment, where we are building the leading community for NFTs. Let's talk about why I'm here. I met my friend and co-founder Justin nearly 10 years ago as a part of the Capital One Analyst Development Program. I think you can tell by the graininess of the photos that this was quite some time ago. We connected over a shared love for sports and specifically a passion for fantasy sports. Our backgrounds in analytics allowed us to become 2 of the top 50 daily fantasy football players in the world. This success got us invited to produce expert content for Roto-Grinders and Establish the Run, 2 well-known DFS content companies, which allowed us to begin building a strong following and community. But then NFTs came along and changed the game. So what the heck is an NFT? An NFT, or non-fungible token, is a digital asset on a blockchain that cannot be copied. This could be a picture, a song, a video, or any form of digital media, and the blockchain proves true ownership of that item. Back in January, Justin and I first discovered sites like NBA Top Shot and So Rare, NFT platforms that are now valued as multi-billion-dollar companies. Justin had been working in blockchain for the past 7 years, but something about this was just different. We instantly fell in love with this new world. Since then, we have seen $2.5 billion in NFT sales in the first half of 2021 and over 1,000 projects launched year to date. But there was a problem. In other industries like finance and sports, there are data analytics platforms like Bloomberg and the Action Network to assist you in your journey. But nothing like this existed for NFTs. No analysis, no expert content, no community. So we built Own the Moment. At Own the Moment, we are your trusted partner for collecting and investing in NFTs. We have built the Bloomberg for NFTs via our analytics platform, expert content, and community. We've also worked with major brands like ASICS and the Detroit Pistons to help them create their own NFT projects. Since launching this year, we have secured a $500,000 pre-seed round from strategic investors like Dapper Labs, the company behind NBA Top Shot, and Establish the Run, and have been on a tear building out our engaged community. 100,000 unique visitors to our website, 22,000 followers on Twitter, and multiple Discords with thousands of power users. In the NFT world, engaged communities translates to big opportunity. We've begun capturing the value we're creating through our community via our freemium subscription service, affiliate deals, and brand engagements. In the future, OTM is your onboarding ramp for NFTs. Before you buy a stock, you research reports on Bloomberg. Before you place a sports bet, you check out the Action Network. Before you buy a house, you review prices on Zillow. And before you buy an NFT, you come to own the moment. We believe that collectors deserve to be celebrated. They're passionate, they have conviction, they're smart, analytical, and long-term oriented. At Own the Moment, we are here to provide these collectors with a community of people that share that same passion, that same drive, by their side for every step of their NFT journey. OTM was founded by backgrounds in analytics, sports, and blockchain that sets us up perfectly to lead this next generation of alternative assets. We have now grown to a team of 15 with a heavy focus on engineering and design, including a new CTO with experience building blockchain games. To date, our community has come to us to learn and discuss NFTs, and starting this week, they'll be coming to us to play and compete in fantasy sports contests using their NFTs. There's Top Shot for basketball, So Rare for soccer, and at Own the Moment, we have created a product for professional football, an NFT-based fantasy game where we will be giving away $1 million in prizes to our community over the coming football season. With the Owners Club, we have created the next generation of fantasy sports. Our community will collect and trade NFTs with the opportunity to use these NFTs to compete for free in fantasy contests against other club members to win real cash prizes. Collect, trade, win. And did I mention $1 million? You can join the fun today at toc.otmnft.com. At Own the Moment, we wholeheartedly believe that NFTs are the future. We love this technology, we love this community, and the most exciting part is, our journey has only just begun.
Right. If you're new to NFTs, I think you're going to learn a lot today, not only from Own the Moment, we also have SportsIcon going later. So this is a space just absolutely red hot. And again, we have the right, I think, founder market fit here. TJ and Justin as co-founders, two of the best daily fantasy sports players in the world, experienced content contributors, roto grinders and other outlets. So they really understand DFS space, the betting space, and how to reach people who are interested in investing with actionable feedback and insights. Of course, they have prior experience as analysts at Capital One. And so it's a really unique profile, people who understand sports, understand NFTs, understand analytics, understand content, that's enabled them to be able to capitalize on this opportunity. They've raised, $500K in pre-seed funding to date from some really impressive investors, including Dapper Labs, which is, of course, NBA Top Shot. And so these are the right guys with the right community going after this. They've built an incredible following on social media. They have true engagement with NFT collectors from around the world. This has put them in an incredible position to be able to not only capitalize on selling premium subscriptions and other services to their audience of NFT collectors, but also to launch their own NFT projects. And so you're going to see some really exciting things coming from this team very soon. And we're absolutely thrilled to be working with them, to have been able to spend a summer with TJ and Justin. So next up, we've got Andrew and Kairos.
I'm Andrew, co-founder and CEO of Kairos, the #1 team communication app built specifically for pro sport. I know what it's like to be a pro athlete. There's highs and there's lows along the way. The highs for me included representing my country on the national stage. I was on the pitch when the Ireland rugby team created history by beating the All Blacks for the very first time at Soldier Field in 2016. As for the lows, injuries. I missed the World Cup in 2015 because of a foot injury. But what most people don't see is the daily struggle and frustration of balancing all of the additional requirements that comes with being a pro athlete. I woke up every day stressed. My mind was always racing, and I was always concerned in case I'd missed something. I'm coaching kids after practice. What's the venue again? We're traveling straight after. Don't forget your passport. Wait, am I in the blue training jersey or the red one? Have I missed something? Have I checked my emails? Have I checked my messages? Have I checked the group chat? My biggest fear was missing the bus or missing an important meeting. One of my teammates missed a meeting one time and got dropped for the game of the weekend. That weekend, Ireland won the first Grand Slam in over 50 years, and he wasn't there. This kind of stuff causes the most anxiety for athletes. Is this what we want our athletes worrying about? And then we slam them when they don't perform the way we expect them to. In no other environment do people have so many balls in the air. Playbooks, sponsors photos, nutrition, travel, meetings, player appearances, gym programs. This is what my schedule looked like before Kairos. Look how complicated that is. That's game day. The most important thing on game day should be the game. But we're asking athletes to solve a puzzle every time they want to find out where they're supposed to be. And we're asking them to be goalkeepers, but they've got 10 sets of goals to defend. There's a million apps out there for how to train, eat, sleep, meditate, Calm, Headspace, Team Builder, MyFitnessPal, Noom, Huddle. There's 8 apps alone for sleeping, but there's one clunky app for the biggest stressor that athletes experience, and that's Teamworks. Ask any coach or athlete. It's like it was built in the 70s before the internet was invented. Here's the result of all this. Athletes are distracted. Athletes are stressed and anxious that they miss something. This impacts their plan, and ultimately this impacts their performance because it's hard to be decisive and execute with conviction when you're confused. When we built Kairos, it had to have 3 core features, a price point that every team can afford. We don't think efficient communication should cost 6 figures. An athlete-first solution, the athlete is the heartbeat of any team, and we want to add most value there. And a beautiful, simple design. We communicate simply to athletes and give them confidence that they are where they need to be. With the team that we have in place, we are perfectly positioned to deliver on this. I provide the athlete-first perspective. Gareth drives a high-performance culture and a lean operating team that allows us to get to that price point. And our team of engineers, led by Daniel and Kendall, have the ability to make the complex seem simple and intuitive. Let me show you Kairos. Athletes receive their personalized schedule, not just the team one. All events are presented to the athlete's schedule so nothing's missed. Kairos is a live platform, so athletes are notified in real time only about the changes relevant to their schedule. And videos and files are attached to the events, be it training footage for practice or boarding passes for travel. One-on-one appointments can also be managed through Kairos in one click. With Kairos, we remove all unnecessary clutter and allow athletes to get back to being single-minded, focused, and perform with the level of clarity and confidence that's required. Launched this year, Kairos is already used by the biggest soccer clubs in the world, including Manchester United. And that's just soccer in our beta market in the UK. We're at Techstars Sports to expand into the US market across multiple sports. We charge, on average, $10,000 per team per year. There can be 10 academy teams in one soccer club and 15 programs in one college. So our deal sizes can scale up significantly. And we're still saving clients 50% compared to Teamworks. In our first market of English soccer, there's 500 teams and 7,000 college and pro teams in North America and Europe. If we get 20% of this market, we'll have 15 million ARR. Remember, we've only got one competitor. Kairos is built to be sport agnostic, which means our TAM could be over 50,000 sports teams worldwide. If we convert 10% of this, we'll have 15 million ARR. Athletes aren't fulfilling their potential, and Kairos will unlock another level of focus and performance. With Kairos, we want to make sure no athlete has to wake up stressed and they can get back to being focused and do what they do best, and that's performance.
Similar to the structure of the Power Forward founding team, this is the right team going after this particular opportunity. Andrew, former rugby international star, and his partner and co-founder Gareth, experienced founder handling the ops side of the business, Kairos. So these guys have come together really complementary and have made tremendous progress to date. Closed $2 million in pre-seed funding. They've scaled the team well, almost 20 teams now that they've sold to as clients and pretty large ticket sizes. These are 5-figure annual deals that can get as high as 6 figures in some cases. So very attractive opportunity in selling to these teams. Again, just focused on soccer and rugby to date in the UK, but tremendous opportunity to expand beyond and add new sports throughout Europe and of course in the United States. I think one of the most compelling parts of this business for us when diligencing the business, outside of course the strength of the founding team and the traction and progress to date, is the fact that they're going up against Teamwork's 800-pound gorilla that when we talk to teams, I think is a really attractive target in going after Teamworks. They haven't had a serious competitor like Kairos come along. And with the product that Kairos has and the energy and strength of the team, I think they're going to be able to continue to take a lot of market share from Teamworks. And so we're really excited about this opportunity and know that they'll continue to grow the business in the years to come. And next up, we have Jason and Launchpad.
Hi, I'm Jason Abramitis, founder and CEO of Launchpad, the first at-home athletic performance training center. Why am I building this business? Well, I've always loved sports. My mother was a great figure skater, but my passion was always basketball. My dad, brother, and wife have all played professionally. But growing up, I looked a little bit more like this kid, and I had to work really hard to play college basketball at Yale. I saw firsthand that the difference between me and the most elite players was athleticism. But given how hard I'd worked, I thought I reached my potential. So after college, I began my gradual descent as a weekend warrior. Then 8 years ago, as I was running my first business, I let my body slide and I blew my knee out. So I went to go see my good friend and co-founder Doug Goldstein, a doctor of physical therapy, a trainer to dozens of pro and Olympic athletes, and the most athletic nerd I know. He had me over his gym and we got to work. But his grand scheme went past rehab. And before I knew it, I was a better athlete than I'd been 10 years earlier in college. Maybe everything I knew about athleticism was wrong. So we got talking. What would it take to scale the experience I had, to bring that to athletes everywhere and help them reach their potential? We designed a product, and although the first version looks like something you might find at a Holiday Inn, parents were ecstatic. But there was one key problem. Neither of us were technical, and we needed software to bring the full experience to life. Then we had some really good luck, as my college coach introduced me to Jalen Gabadon, captain of the Yale basketball team, reigning Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, and a coder at Google. He was so intrigued by Launchpad that just 3 weeks after meeting me, he moved into my basement, and he got to work. Though he was skeptical, what could we old guys teach him about being a better athlete? I mean, before Launchpad, he could dunk, kinda, which is better than probably 99% of you watching. But Doug thought he could get Jalen to a higher level, and he was right. Now Jalen's clearly the most athletic CTO on the planet. What Doug did for me wasn't a fluke. It worked for Jalen, it'll work for your kids, it would work for you. But what would it take to bring that into your home? Well, first we need a wide range of equipment for all the exercises you need. We need to make that compact to fit your home. And we need to track the body at a high rate of speed for all the agility drills and to give coaching. This is Launchpad. It's an AI-driven, dynamic home gym built for serious athletes. It's compact as it folds up to only 2 feet by 6 feet when it's not in use. Our cutting-edge computer vision tracks 17 points in the body faster than the human eye can see. That lets us track performance, motivate explosive movement, and provide coaching. The speed and power metrics that we track go into leaderboards that make the experience incredibly fun and safe as we help users avoid lifting too much weight. Maybe best of all, there's no thinking with Launchpad. Based on the sports you play, your goals, your age, and how you've been performing in past workouts, your workout for the day is ready for you every time you step up to the equipment. Just tap go. And those workouts are built from hundreds of exercises. That way it's always fun and dynamic. That entire experience is only $14.99 and $39 a month, a model that's been proven in so many markets, but not for athletes. What are the alternatives? Well, there's facilities like D1 and P3 that are really expensive, only exist in a handful of cities. And where they do, parents have to drive and then sit and wait hours in the car. Meanwhile, connected fitness products continue to only serve adults who have the boring goal of burning calories. You might think that they're leaving out young athletes because it's a small market. It's not. 45 million kids play sports in America alone. They face long odds to get to the next level. They want to get there so badly. Their parents believe they have a chance, so they're willing to do anything they can to help. In fact, 1 in 5 are spending over $400 per month per kid on extra training. The kids want to do more than just make the team. They want to make a highlight play. They're willing to put the work in to get there, but very few know what to do, and many risk injury doing things the wrong way. Fortunately for us, all that motivation means that our customers gather at camps and tournaments every summer where we can go talk to them and find them. They also follow trainers who we're working with to get the word out about Launchpad. And we've gotten to market incredibly quickly. We've gone from that first ugly version to a product in under a year. And the early reviews are in. People love it. I'm excited that as of today, you can reserve your spot and get the first batch in early 2022 at launchpad.fit. Thank you.
For all you athletes and parents of athletes out there, Launchpad is for you. Again, really strong founder market fit here. Jason and Jalen, both Yale basketball players. Jason, an experienced founder on a second venture here. Jalen, CTO, really strong technically. You got Doug, sports scientist, who's experienced working with NBA and NFL athletes, really unique. And so this is the right team doing this business. I can't think of another team that'd be better suited to go after this opportunity. Proven model here. Hardware with strong margins, high AOV up front, subscription revenue. It's been done in other categories. Obviously, you've heard from Flexia and Grind. Ergot has gone through this program before and many others in different spaces, but no one has focused on youth athletes. And their need is entirely different from adults who are just training to maybe lose a little weight or gain a little bit of muscle mass. Athletes who are competitive, they need to develop fast twitch, explosive muscles, and that can't be done simply by biking or running or lifting weights. They really need a solution like this. Nothing has ever existed at home for that target market. And so I think this is the right team to go after this opportunity. Over 40 million youth athletes across the country. And of course, professional athletes, collegiate athletes are going to be using Launchpad as well. So huge market opportunity, really compelling product. They're rolling out version 2 now in Q1 of next year. And we expect a lot of growth from this team ahead. And next up, we have Tiffany and Cura Story.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm the founder and CEO of Cura Story, where we're making video more simple. I believe we are all creators. We are all born with a curiosity to learn a craft, excel at that craft, and eventually earn a living from that craft. Growing up a creator, coding was my craft. With my family's bond from sports, I eventually found my way to every sport nerd's dream craft, creating algorithms at ESPN and making a pretty decent living too. Let's imagine video content creation is your craft. You grew up in a sports-obsessed family, rushing to watch Chris Berman, Stuart Scott, and Linda Cohn on the 6 p.m. Sports Center after scarfing down your dinner on a Tuesday night. Being a sports content creator, just like them, was the only thing that you wanted. But wait, in present-day 2021, you're not sure if you picked the right craft. The 6 p.m. Sports Center is now YouTube, Instagram TV, or Facebook Watch. You have a multi-million viewership audience that loves your commentary or sports antics, just like Flight Reacts and Yo Boy Pizza, similar to your nostalgic ESPN anchor idols. But you're barely making a living wage because anytime someone watching your video content skips the ad that pops up that you have no control over, you don't get paid. So you're forced to rely on brand sponsorship to pay your bills, but you're hesitant because only posting sponsored pay-to-posts for brands costs you 15 followers every single time. The ads are always non-organic and irrelevant to what you're actually talking about in your sports videos. Plus, you have to chase brands around, hoping they choose you from the hundreds of influencer databases that you've signed up for and pay your invoices on time. You start to wonder, is this what it was like every time you went to the bathroom during a SportsCenter commercial break? Did Stuart Scott not get paid? The answer is no. Stuart Scott got paid whether you went to the bathroom or called your Aunt Susie during his commercial breaks. And the fact that present-day video creators can't choose a career hundreds of past creators have successfully benefited from because they can't pay their rent on time due to skipped ads blindly shows the creator economy is broken. And even if you specifically might not have had dreams of becoming a video creator like Stuart Scott or Yo Boy Pizza, many kids do. When asked what they wanted to be when growing up, 30% of the 52 million adolescents in the US and UK said that they wanted to be YouTubers. Currently, there are over 50 million content creators growing at a rate of 20% year over year, resulting in 150 million creators by the year 2031. Cura Story was built to fix the broken creator economy, allowing our video creators to earn a living through tech powering creator tools, brand scalability, and authentic audience engagement. Our creators upload their original video content to our platform, where we then match it to brands running targeted ad campaigns for the creator to embed their native recorded ad spots before posting to YouTube, IGTV, and all of their other channels. Our founding team hails from ESPN, Muscle Milk, and Reddit as experts that have worked with famous athlete creators, led entire brand marketing campaigns, and have built features with billion-dollar ad tech platforms still used today. We joined Techstars Sports to monopolize the 80 million monthly viewership audience of more than 100 sports creators and on track to doing just that. From June to September this year, we have onboarded over 200 pro athlete and gamer creators from deals with the NBA Players Association, NBA 2K League, and Vayner Sports, locking in over 300 videos a month from creators like Isaiah Thomas and Chalk. Launched an exclusive marketing agency partner program, locking in over $1 million in campaign spend per quarter from agencies and brands like Rise Marketing Group, BetMGM, and PlayUp. And all of this was accomplished with only $400K raised in our lifetime at the time. Let's stop telling kids that their dreams of becoming video creators is not realistic and start investing in original platforms like Cura Story. We will soon power every video for all types of creators through our own pay-per-view and subscription video platform, build community with our creators through themed content houses around the world, and empower everyone to tap into their inner creator. Creating is in our DNA, and video deserves to be more simple.
Reminder, go to demoday.techstars.com to connect directly with Tiffany and all of our CEOs. Just a few quick words about Tiffany and Cura Story. Again, product market fit here for sure. Tiffany's experience at ESPN. This is a technical founder who really understands content marketing, understands the creator economy. The founding team, you got experience in brand marketing at Muscle Milk, ad tech at Facebook. So this is a team that really gets this space. We really believe that the future of advertising is native-based, not platform-based. That's, of course, been enhanced recently by security concerns, privacy concerns, of course, with Apple. We've seen that, and also firm believers that the future of advertising is video-based and not text or image-based. Much better retention rate, especially 90% versus 10% when it's a video. So marketing is increasingly going to be done through video. It's going to be native-based. Cura Story will be the platform where brands are able to efficiently connect with creators, and creators are able to capture the value of the content that they produce. And so the system that Tiffany's designed here is brilliant. It's extremely unique. She's demonstrated incredible traction to date with only $500,000 in pre-seed funding. Got over 100 brands already on the platform, over 250 creators. Just launched campaigns last month, so in Q3, going to do nearly 150K in revenue. It was already locked in $1 million in gross revenue in Q4 of this year, and that's with a very healthy 30% margin. So great team doing this business, the right team doing the business, demonstrated traction on both sides of the platform with revenue and high growth in terms of revenue on a quarterly basis. So we're really excited to continue to see their momentum ramp going forward. And next up, we've got Aaron and Move Ollie.
Hi there, I'm Aaron Mitchell, the CEO and founder of Move Ollie, and we're making a game to help people 55 and older exercise more. I grew up in a retirement town in Oregon where the average age was 57, and when I was 3, my family started a gym. Over the years, Coastal Fitness became the central gathering place for the town's older community. One of the gym's regulars was Pat Riley, a 65-year-old recent retiree who struggled to walk more than very short distances. And like many other seniors, she needed an exercise program that improved mobility, maintained balance and stability, and built strength. But before Coastal Fitness, Pat faced the same problem that millions of seniors face today. She had no clue where to start. Personal trainers gave her programs that were designed for younger adults that were ineffective and dangerous. Her fitness condition was unique to her, so one-size-fits-all solutions didn't work. And the guidance that she got from physical therapists and doctors was expensive, boring, and lacked community. But Coastal Fitness was different. With over 28 years of experience training seniors, my dad wrote an exercise program for Pat that met her exact needs. A few years later, at age 67, Pat completed a summit hike on Mount Kilimanjaro with her husband. Unfortunately, the Coastal Fitnesses of the world are few and far between. And fitness among the aging population is an enormous problem that is growing rapidly. By 2034, the 77 million people 65 and older will outnumber the 18 and under population for the first time ever in US history. And they are on the brink of a national health crisis. 41% of seniors today are obese, and 1 in 4 experience a fall each year. This year, the US will spend $364 billion treating diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, and falls in people 65 and older. The clock is ticking on our aging population. This generation desperately needs more exercise. So that's where we come in. Just like Duolingo has taken a difficult, daunting task of learning a language and made it fun using game mechanics, Move Ollie is doing the same for fitness. Move Ollie is an exercise game that gives seniors a perfectly targeted fitness program to address their needs. The user starts by answering some basic questions to assess their current fitness level. The game then uses machine learning to write a custom exercise program tailored to the user's needs. Users complete workouts and quizzes to help Ollie, the game's mascot, earn points and level up. They can also do challenges with their friends in Move Ollie leaderboards. Users can pay a $20 a month subscription to use Move Ollie, but the 90% of older adults that carry supplemental Medicare insurance can get free access to Move Ollie, paid for fully by their health insurance provider. This reimbursement gives us the ability to grow our customer base extremely fast. And while consumer fitness brands fight over the adults 25 to 54 years old, there's only one company targeting seniors today that just raised $7 million from Andreessen Horowitz. Their platform is web-based, one-size-fits-all, and boring. Our platform is app-based, highly customized, and it's a lot of fun. Mike, our CTO, and I previously raised $2 million and grew a venture-backed fitness company to $1.3 million in annual sales before the pandemic hit. Jim, our chief scientist, has 28 years experience writing exercise programs for the aging population. We have the dream team to solve this problem. We're currently piloting our fitness programming with groups of older adults and will launch our product in Q4 of this year. We plan to grow through 3 channels. 1, partnerships with retirement communities and senior centers. 2, affiliate marketing with health and wellness service providers. And 3, referral marketing with physical therapy centers and hospitals. Through these channels, we will reach $100 million in annual revenue by the end of 2027 and be the world leader in fitness made for the aging population. It's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. At Move Ollie, we're making sure that the late years of our parents and grandparents are their best years by changing the way that they play, move, and live. If you'd like to be part of the journey with us, shoot me a note. I'm Aaron Mitchell, CEO of Move Ollie. Thank you.
Aaron is the right founder to do this business. Grew up in a family that owns a gym for seniors. So more than 30 years of experience involved in senior workout programming. Aaron has unique insight into this space and is also an experienced second-time founder, scaled his previous business to a 7-figure run rate in the fitness space. And so again, right founder to do this business. I think just a couple of things to note really quickly here. I think the approach of applying Duolingo and a game-based system for seniors is extremely innovative. Nothing like that exists. The head of product for Duolingo being a key advisor here with Ollie. So really compelling, I think, plan and vision here. Extremely compelling also UI and UX from the app. Really excited for you guys to see and be able to check out the app very soon. And I think diabetes and obesity as a society, this is the #1 challenge that we have to face in the US. And so there's simply not enough good solutions out there to get older people and seniors moving. And to be able to do that at an attractive price point through an interactive app that also benefits from having insurance policies to be able to cover the premium for seniors. All of that is extremely compelling. And so this business for us is necessary. It's the right founder to do it. It's extremely attractive in terms of reoccurring revenue and compelling value prop for older people. We got to get people moving, and Ollie is the team and the platform that's going to make it happen. So really excited for what Aaron's up to with Ollie. And finally, last but certainly not least, next up we have Chris and SportsIcon.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Worsey, founder and CEO of SportsIcon. We're revolutionizing the fan and athlete relationship through NFTs. We've got the perfect team for this. I've founded and exited 2 tech businesses previously. Alexi, my co-founder, is a FIFA-registered match agent who has worked for a decade with the top sports people on the planet. We've got some of the best investors in tech and crypto, including Roham, the founder of NBA Top Shot and Dapper Labs, Nas, the iconic rapper, Chad Hurley, the founder of YouTube, and Andrew Bogut, an NBA champion. The current fan-to-athlete relationship is broken, and it's broken because it's built on consumption. Let's think about the evolution of sports consumption. In the early days, you could go to a game. The problem was that very few people could attend. You were limited by capacity and location. Then games on the radio came along, an improvement, but guess what? You couldn't actually see the action. Then TV came along. You could see the game, but there was no personal interaction, no atmosphere. Then our friend's social media came around. Shiny and new, but does anyone feel good after scrolling through endless content on their phone? Startups have tried to improve consumption of sports. Players Tribune hired ghostwriters for athletes. Religion of Sport created heavily produced content, but guess what? It's still consumption. And of course, you could own players' jerseys, play fantasy football, and collect sports cards to feel some kind of connection to athletes, however remote. The blockchain is helping to create a fundamentally different experience for fandom. NFTs enabled the switch from consumption to ownership. Instead of buying a sports card, you could go to NBA Top Shot, valued at 7.5 billion. Instead of playing fantasy, it's So Rare, valued at 4.5 billion. Instead of highly produced articles and documentaries, you've got SportsIcon, valuation to be confirmed soon. So let me show you what SportsIcon is. We work with the greatest sports people of all time to tell their highs, their lows, and their skills through NFTs. We call these journeys. Our differentiator is cinematic quality content with world-class directors. Think masterclass.com broken down into NFTs. With SportsIcon, you can now own part of the athlete's story and skills. You can participate in the upside of an athlete's career. You can trade the NFTs, and you can connect with your sporting heroes in a meaningful way. You can meet your icon. You can attend his games. You can get on a Zoom call with him, and you can get exclusive merchandise. In the old world, you would watch him play, trade his card, wear his jersey, follow him on social. It's all consumption. The new world is about ownership. Invest in this digital card, invest in his team on So Rare, or you can invest in his journey. SportsIcon enables you to invest in and own the icon's journey. Moments aren't possible without journeys. Where they came from, lessons learned, insights behind particular moves, driving forces, skills, who they are, what made them special, and key insights into where they're going. All beautifully produced and shot to a cinematic standard. We see a future in which moments aren't complete without the journeys that enabled them, and a world in which fans can literally invest in their favourite players' journeys. So, what enables all of this? We're building on the Flow blockchain, the same chain as NBA Top Shot, so millions of users who are interested in sports and crypto, and unlike Ethereum, there are no gas fees. We've got a strong strategic partnership with Dapper Labs with cross-promotion, support and development assistance. Watch highlights on Dapper and click through to SportsIcon for the story, all in one ecosystem. We've made huge strides in the US market since being on Techstars. We've closed a $1.4 million pre-seed round from US investors. We've built a great team. We've made a ton of progress on the products, and we've signed up some of the most iconic athletes in the US, from NBA to NFL to boxing. That's to go alongside the European and South American soccer players already on our roster. We're excited to announce all of the huge names soon. And did I mention that our first NFT drop sold out in 120 seconds? In closing, we believe that fandom matters and fans matter. Fans deserve to not just consume, but to actively own and participate in their heroes' journeys. SportsIcon is bringing fans closer to their favourite players than ever before. Welcome to the future of fan and athlete relationship. Welcome to SportsIcon. Thank you.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record here with our 11th company, incredible founder market fit here. Chris, serial entrepreneur, experienced founder. Alexi, a very well-networked and well-regarded sports agent in Europe. These guys, of course, are authentic and deep in the NFT and crypto space. And so this is the right founders to do this business. I think well demonstrated by the fact they've raised 1.4 million in pre-seed funding from Dapper Labs and other strategic investors. I think the overall concept of masterclass for NFTs makes a ton of sense, is unique. We haven't seen any other approaches in this space that are all similar to SportsIcon. They've already launched true icons on the platform with much more to come. Throughout the program, we've connected these guys with some of the leading and biggest athlete names in the game in the United States, in NFL and NBA, to name a few. Sports, and so we've seen tremendous response from those athletes and their agents. So we have no doubt that SportsIcon is going to be able to get the right legends on the platform and to do an incredible job of documenting their journeys and putting out their NFTs. I can't end without saying something about the Lion Club drop recently, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. But just last week, this team, SportsIcon, launched a unique NFT club, Lion Club, and did $1.2 million in revenue last week. I'll say that again, $1.2 million in revenue last week. So this is a team that understands the space, has authentic community, has proven traction, is just getting started. So we're really thrilled to be involved with SportsIcon and continue to look forward to support them as they roll out with some of the biggest names in sports in the United States. So that concludes our demo day 2021. Thank you all so much for joining. Reminder, go to demoday.techstars.com to connect directly with our CEOs who you've heard from today, or reach out to Andrew and I directly. We're happy to facilitate intros. Thank you again to our partners and to our mentors, without whom this program would not be possible. For all of you joining who are investors, all of our companies are interested in talking to you. Please reach out to them. For those of you who are experienced operators or just looking to get started in a startup company, our companies are, of course, hiring roles in product and tech, marketing, operations, etc. So please reach out to our companies if you're interested in employment opportunities. For those of you who are founders and have a early stage startup in the sports space, broadly defined sports space, as you've seen, we're investing in a lot of different categories within sports. We'd love to hear from you. Our applications for our Techstars Sports Accelerator 2022 program open in December of this year. So please apply or reach out to us about that. And final word, thank you to our founders who work tirelessly this summer. For anyone who hasn't built a company, it's an incredibly hard, oftentimes lonely journey that requires perseverance and resiliency and true teamwork. I'm so grateful to our founders and for their trust that they put in us and working together with them. So thank you to our founders for all of your hard work and also for all of your support of one another.